day everyone, I am Ana Marie Suaso and today I am going to tackle to you about the air pressure and winds. So I am from Group 6 and I have with me my co-reporter which is Duchess Lamigo. So before I will discuss to you my topic, first let me recall what is air pressure as well as the air density. So air pressure is the force of air molecules pressing against in a given area. Meanwhile, air density is the mass of air molecules in a given volume. So kani sila duha, they are both related because when air density increases, ang air pressure sab mo increase. Kay tungod, there is more molecules in a given volume, means more force sab na i-exert. And the same lagi hapon, pag mo decreases ang air density, mo decreases pod ang air pressure. So these are the subtopics that we will be going to tackle in this topic. So first is atmospheric pressure. Next is measuring air pressure, which has 3 subtopics, which is the gas law, barometers, pressure readings. Next is the surface and upper air charts, wind dynamics, and lastly is the surface winds. So here are the objectives of this topic. So first, we have to evaluate the relationship of atmospheric pressure to other physical quantities. Example is the air density and altitude. Next is we have to solve fluid properties of air using fluid mechanics principles. And last is to analyze the dynamics of air and its characterization. So first is the atmospheric pressure. So when we say atmospheric pressure, this refers to the force exerted by the weight of air in the Earth's atmosphere. So atmospheric pressure decreases with altitude because there is less air mass above a given point. So at sea level, the average atmospheric pressure is approximately 1,013.25 millibars or 1 atmosphere ATM. So as you can see in the picture, na pag mutaas ang altitude, so mag-decrease ang atmospheric pressure. But when the altitude is decreases, so ang atmospheric pressure sub is increases. So for example, kung kadto ta sa mga high mountains like Mount Everest, so ang ma-feel nato dito na pressure is gamay ra ang pressure na ma-feel nato. Unlike kung dito ta sa pinakaubos ng sea level, which is sa sea surface, so makapiltan ito hindi ganit ang makaginhawa because there is pressure na mo sa ato na ma-feel nato. So what causes atmospheric pressure? So Earth's gravity pulls on the gas molecules in air. So this creates the atmospheric pressure. So the air near Earth's surface is compressed by all the weight of the air molecules above it. So in the picture, so makita niyo na ang weight of air molecules here contributes to the pressure at this height. So weight of air molecules in the whole column contributes to the pressure on the surface. So here are the key characteristics of the air pressure. So first is the pressure variation with altitude. So atmospheric pressure decreases with height because there are fewer air molecules above a given point. So for every 5.5 kilometer increase in altitude, the pressure roughly halves. For example, pressure at sea level is approximately 1,013.25 millibars, but at 5 kilometer, it drops to about 500 millibar. So pag mutaas kuno ang atmospheric, pag mutaas ang altitude or the height ng isa ka lugar is ang iyang pressure is mo katunga. So for example sa sa sea level, kung mo taas sila ng 5 kilometer, so muubos ang iyang pressure into 500 millibars. So second is pressure and weather. So high pressure systems, so ang tawag sa high pressure system or anticyclones, are associated with descending air, leading to clear and calm weather. So pag high pressure kuno, so ang ato ma-feel sa ato atmosphere is clear and calm weather ra. So pag mulang tanang descending air, meaning muubos ra na air. Meanwhile, sa low pressure system or cyclones, these are associated with rising air, which causes cloud formation and precipitation. So sa low pressure system kuno, once na mutaas ang mga air, this mag-cause ko na yun sila ng cloud formation and precipitation. That is why na ay mga uyan na ito ma-feel. Third is the standard atmospheric pressure. So the average atmospheric pressure at sea level is 1,013.25 millibars MB or 101.3 kilopascals or kPa. So 29.92 inches of mercury or INHG and 14.7 pounds per square inch, or PSI. So fourth is pressure and density relationship. So denser air or cold dry air exerts more pressure than less dense air. So pag dense kuno ang air is mo-exert siya ng more pressure than less dense air. So this principle explains why weather systems behave differently in cold versus warm seasons. So next topic is measuring air pressure. So we have here the ideal gas law para ma-measure nato ang atmosphere. So naa siya properties which is the density, pressure, temperature, volume, and mass. So in the observations na ay tulo na law which is related to gas law. So first is the Boyle's gas law. So for given mass at constant temperature, the pressure times the volume is a constant. So that is the formula PV equals C1. So can Charles and K. Lossack ideal gas law is for given mass at constant pressure, the volume is directly proportional to the temperature. So later on, ma-discuss nato ini sila duha or tuyo ini sila ka gas law. So first is the Boyle's law. So this is a gas law, which is created by Robert Boyle. So Boyle's law states that when temperature is constant, pag constant daw ang temperature, ang iyang formula is P1 B1 is equals to P2 B2. So Boyle's law also states that pressure is inversely related to volume. This means that when pressure is increased, volume is decreased, and vice versa. So Boyle's law also states P times V is equals to K, which is ang K is the proportionality constant. So dari ang meaning ng ining P1 B1 P2 V2. So ang P1 is the initial pressure exerted by the gas. So ang B1 is the initial volume occupied by the gas. Ang P2 is the final pressure exerted by the gas, and B2 is the final volume occupied by the gas. So this is the formula of Boyle's law. So P1 na sa ubos, P1 is equals to P2 V2. So when temperature is constant, this equation is used to compare different conditions on the same solution. So pag constant kuno ang iyang temperature is magamit tayo ng ini na formula. So if pressure is inversely related to volume, ang ato gamito na formula is P tapos inversely 1 over volume. Meanwhile, pag pressure is multiplied by volume equals the K constant, amay ni ato gamiton P times V equals K. Una atay example ng Boyle's law, which is, kung makita niyo at the first picture, na siya marag gina-compress nga air molecules, which is, ang pressure is 400 mm or Hg, which is mercury. Ang volume niya is 50.0 ml. Meanwhile, sa isa ka picture is, ang iyang pressure is 200 mm and ang iyang volume is 100 ml. So kung ato ini isolve, i-times na nato ang 400 na pressure sa 50 volume, and the same with the other example na ay 200 pressure and then na ay 100 ml. So this ang result ng inisayla duha is the same ra sila ng na feel na the pressure and volume. So the example above shows how at a constant temperature P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. So the example above also shows the inversely proportional relationship between volume and pressure. So in the first beaker, the pressure is 400 mm while the volume is at 50 milliliters. When the pressure decreased to 200 Hg, the volume increased to 100 milliliters. So next gas law is Cahn-Charles law. So a gas law created by Joseph Louis Gay Lossack, who credited the law to Jacques Charles. So Charles' law states that when pressure is constant, the volume is directly proportional to the temperature when containing a fixed amount of gas. So this means that if volume increases, the temperature will also increase. So this is the formula of Charles' law. V1 is divided to T1 is equals to V2 divided to T2. So Charles' law also states that V is divided to T equals K, where K is the proportionality constant. So note that Charles' law uses Kelvin for temperature units, while the volume units can be any volume unit like ml, millimeters, liters or etc. So this is the Charles law formula. So pag ang pressure is constant, this equation is used to compare different conditions on the same substance. Pag constant ra ang iyang pressure, so this is the formula that we will going to use. So pag ang temperature sub is directly proportional to volume, so ang masabso na formula to gamiton. Meanwhile, kung ang volume i-divide na to, meanwhile kung ang iyang volume is divided by temperature equals to K constant, so ang K is equals to proportionality constant. So here is the example of Charles law. So as you can see, in the first beaker, naa siya pressure nga 200, the same as the second beaker. So, pero naglaylay sila sa volume as well as the temperature. So, ang volume diri sa first beaker is 50 millimeters. Meanwhile, ang sa second beaker is 150. So, in the first beaker, naa siya temperature nga 100. Ang sa pikas na beaker is 300. So, kung i-divide nato ini sila, they have the same measurement ng pressure. So, constant, the same sila, proportional. So, our next gas law is the Avogadro's law. So, this is a gas law created by Amedeo Avogadro. So, Avogadro's law states that at constant temperature and pressure, two gases with the same volume will contain the same number of molecules. So, this is the Avogadro's law formula, which is V1 is divided to N1 equals V2 divided to N2. So, Avogadro's law also explains how volume is directly proportional to gas amounts in moles. So, as the volume increases, so does the amount of gas. So, Avogadro's law also states that V, or volume, divide N is equals to K, where K is the proportionality constant. So note that the amount of gas of Avogadro's law is always measured in moles, while the volume measurement can be any volume unit, ml or liters or etc. So this is the formula of Avogadro's law. So ang V stands as volume, ang N is the amount of gas or the moles. So when temperature and pressure are constant, this equation is used to compare different conditions on the same substance. So, meaning na formula ang gamiton. V1 over N1 is equals to V2 over N2. Meanwhile, if ang volume is directly proportional to the amount of gas in molecules, so meaning na formula ang gamiton. V, numeral, ribbon siya, and then N. Pag volume divided by the amount of gas equals the K constant, amo sari yung gamiton. I have here the example of Avogadro's law. So as you can see in the picture, naa siya two beaker which is laylay sila ng volume. So but they have the same pressure as well as the temperature. So ang volume in the first beaker is 120 millimeter. Meanwhile sa second beaker, so makita niyo na ang iyang volume is 360. So, ang gamitan nato nga formula is ang katong V1 over N1 is equals to V2 over N2. So, ang V stands as the volume, which is ang iyang value is 120 over 6. So, hangay ni gikan ang 6. So, ang N, which is the amount of gas moles. So, makikita niyo na ay mga lingin-lingin diha. That is called gas moles. So, ginabilang iton. In the first beaker, makita niyo na ay unom ka gas mo. So, unang gi-divide siya. So, the same sa second beaker, na siya ay 18 nga moles. So, pag i-divide na to, so they still have the same answer, di ba? They have the same answer. Gani. Last is the ideal gas law. So, kaning ideal gas law is created by Benoit Paul Emily Clapeyron, which is the combination of Charles' law, Boyle's law, Gay-Lussac's law, Avogadro's laws, and the combined gas law. So, kaning sa ideal gas law states that for a specific amount of gas, the product of pressure and volume is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. So, the ideal gas equation is PV is equals to nRT. So the ideal gas law states that all gases contain the same number of gas molecules when under equal temperature, volume, and pressure. That's why 1 mole of any gas fills a volume of 22.4 liters at STP. So note, this does not mean that the gases have equal masses. So this is the formula as well as the units ng ideal gas law. So P stands for pressure, V stands for volume, N is the number of moles of gas, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature, which is ang gigamit is Kelvin. So sa ideal gas law units, kung pressure ko no is atmosphere, ATM ang gamiton. Kung temperature is Kelvin ang gamiton, ang volume is liters. So that is the formula. So kung pressure kung naa kay given niya pressure, pascals ang gamiton, ang temperature is Kelvin, ang volume is cubic meters. So gamiton ang gamiton. So other R values or the gas constant is R equals 1.987 cal or moles and K constant. R is equals to 62.36 liters torr or mole. Okay. So our next topic is the barometers. So kaning barometers is a device used to measure atmospheric pressure. Because atmospheric pressure changes with the distance above or below sea level, a barometer can also use to measure the altitude. So naay two types of barometers, which is ang mercury and aneroid. So ang mercury was invented by Evangelista Torricelli in the 17th century. So the mercury barometer consists of a long glass tube filled with mercury inverted into a dish. So how does it work? So yun sa may nipagamit. So atmospheric pressure pushes the mercury in the dish upward into the tube. So the height of the mercury column reflects the atmospheric pressure. So kita man nito dire. So this is the gas tube na ay suyod nga mercury. So katong sa lugwa nga mercury is murag ginapush niya pasulod dito sa taas, which is because of the air pressure. So at standard value, at sea level, the mercury column stands at 760 mmHg or the mercury sign, or 29.92 inches of mercury. So next is the aneroid barometer. So it was developed as a more portable and safer alternative to mercury barometers. So the aneroid barometer uses a sealed, flexible metal chamber, which is the aneroid cell. So changes in air pressure causes the chamber to expand or contract, so moving a mechanical needle that indicates the pressure reading. So pag na-ako changes sa air pressure, so katong chamber or the aneroid cell is move siya, and because of this, ay mo-contract siya or mo-expand siya, then kaning needle is mag-move siya, which is mag-indicate ng pressure reading. So, a steady rise in the atmospheric pressure, a rising barometer usually indicates clearing weather. So, pag mutaas daw ang barometer or ang needle, mag-indicate ko nito ng clear weather or fair weather. Meanwhile, whereas a steady drop in the atmospheric pressure, so pag falling barometer na sila, so ang signal ng ini or mag-indicate na sila na ay mo approach nga storm or with inclement weather. So naay two types of aneroid barometer. First is the altimeter and the barograph. So kaning altimeter, these are aneroid barometers that measure pressure but are calibrated to indicate altitude. So kani siya is na aneroid barometer is mag-measure siya ng altitude or mo-indicate sila ng altitude. So sa barographs are recording aneroid barometers. Basically, the barograph consists of pen attached to an indicating arm that marks a continuous record of pressure on chart paper. So the chart paper is attached to a drum rotated slowly by an internal mechanical clock. So this is the last topic, subtopic ng measuring air pressure. So pressure readings. Meteorologists use millibars to measure air pressure. So the standard air pressure at sea level is 1013.25 in millibars. So this is the units of pressure. Kung na-confuse ka mo kayo na ito ng mga sign, mga INHG, mga PA, HPA. So this is the unit of pressure. So inches of mercury or INHG. So the height of column of mercury in a barometer. So the standard air pressure at sea level is 29.92 inches of mercury. So PA or Pascal is the scientific unit of pressure. So 1 Pascal is equal to 0.01 millibar. So HPA stands as hectopascal. A prefix hecto is used to indicate 100. So 1 hectopascal is equal to 100 pascals. So I have here an example of reading pressure. So na-I picture dire, which is makita ninyo na mura siya bukid and then na-I sea level. So the top diagram A. So there is a top diagram A shows 4 cities. So these are A, B, C, and D. So lalais nila na elevations above the sea level. So all with different station pressures. So kung makita ninyo sa city A na siya 952 millibars, sa city B na siya 979 millibars, and sa city C na siya 894 millibars, and last is our last city, which is the D, na siya 1,000 millibars. So sa city A na siya altitude nga 600 meters, while sa city B na siya 300 meters, sa city C na siya 1,100 meters, and sa D wala siya altitude. No, kay naa naman siya sa surface level. So makita niyo sa middle diagram, which is ang D, this is nagrepresent sila ng sea level pressure, which is kaning upat ka city, makita nato kung ano ang ila different sea level pressure. So makita niyo sa city A na siya 1,012 millibars or the atmospheric pressure. Ngano kaha na niabot man na 1,012 siya. So according dere na kada 100 meter ng isa ka lugar na ay ma-add nga 10 millibars or atmospheric pressure. So dire kung makita niyo sa example sa city A na siya 600 meter. So in every 100 meter na dapat magduga ng 10 millibars. So dire 60 millibars ang iya hangtod sa niabot sa 1,012 millibars. So amo na yung ang iya sea level pressure. And the same with other city, mag-adra ng 10 millibars sa kada 100 meters. So in the diagram C, or the bottom diagram, this shows the isobars drawn on the chart. So kaning isobars, these are the lines connecting points of equal pressure. So kaning mga dark lines, ang maning isobars, so gina-connect niya ang mga points na ay equal nga pressure. So laylay sila ng pressure nga makuha.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing surface and upper air charts, the isobaric maps, wind dynamics, as well as surface winds. Surface maps is a map that displays different weather aspects and provides a graphical depiction of the Earth's surface and weather conditions. So in surface maps, it is a type of map that displays current weather conditions at the surface in a given geographical area. Isobaric maps is a type of weather map that illustrates how atmospheric pressure changes over a region using lines of equal atmospheric pressure. So, the difference between the surface map and the isobaric map is that surface map displays current weather conditions in a particular area or geographical area. So, while in isobaric maps, it uses lines to show what pressure it is at the surface of the Earth. Anticyclones are those areas with high pressure in which the wind blows clockwise in North Hemisphere, while the mid-latitude cyclonic storms are areas of low pressure in which the wind blows counterclockwise in North Hemisphere. So if you're wondering why low pressures are mid-latitude cyclonic storms or why they are called mid-latitude cyclonic storms, it's because when the air pressure is low, it gives chance to the air to freely rise into the atmosphere. And when it cools and condenses, it produces some kind of precipitation or rain. So here is an example of the surface maps. So as we could see here, there are lines which are these are called the isobaric lines, which is yet on pressure in a current area. So the L represents the low pressure or the mid-latitude cyclonic storms, while the H represents the high pressure or the anticyclone. As we could see here, ang isobaric lines, and direction niya is counterclockwise, while the high pressure or those anticyclones, ang isobaric lines are in a direction of clockwise. So next is the upper air charts. So the upper air charts shows a constant air pressure. The difference between the surface maps and the upper air charts is surface maps, again, the current weather conditions, where the upper air charts, it shows air pressure in a particular area. So there are two, ridges and the troughs. So the ridges or the elongated heights are the lengthy, moderately high pressure area that radiates outward from the center of a high pressure area. So these are the areas with warmer air. And then the troughs or the elongated lows are a lengthy, moderately low pressure area that radiates outward from the center of a low pressure area. So these are the areas with colder or cooler air. So here is an example of surface maps. So as we could see here, there is a representation of L and H. So the L represents the mid-latitude cyclonic storms. Ang isobaric lines, as we could see here, yaka counterclockwise. While the H or the anticyclone or the high pressure, ang isobaric lines, ang direction ng isobaric lines is clockwise. So next is the upper air charts. So the upper air charts shows a constant air pressure. The difference between the surface maps and the upper air charts is surface maps, again, the current weather conditions, where the upper air charts, it shows air pressure in a particular area. So there are two, ridges and the troughs. So the ridges or the elongated heights are the lengthy, moderately high pressure area that radiates outward from the center of a high pressure area. So these are the areas with warmer air. And then the troughs or the elongated lows are a lengthy, moderately low pressure area that radiates outward from the center of a low pressure area. So these are the areas with colder or cooler air. Here is an example of the upper air chart. So as we could see here, there are also isobaric line sub. Nagapakita ng pressure in these specific areas. So there are troughs and ridges. So next is the wind dynamics. It examines the forces that moves horizontally and the result of air volume. Wind flows from high pressure zones to low pressure zones. So wind dynamics are those forces that affects the airflow movement. So here are the forces that affects the horizontal movement of the Earth. So first is the passive gradient force. So it is the force that results when there is a difference in pressure across a surface. So this type of force causes wind to move from high pressure areas to low pressure areas. So the closer the spacing of isobars, the stronger it is the pressure of a gradient force. So the stronger the pressure of the gradient force, the stronger it is for the wind to move, or the movement of the wind. Next is the Coriolis effect. It is an invisible force that appears to deflect the wind. So it is a type of force that deflects the wind's direction from its original or expected path. So it is caused by the Earth's rotation, which creates some kind of force that affects the wind's direction. Next is the centripetal force. So an apparent force in a rotating system. The force operating on an item in curvilinear motion that is directed towards the center of curvature or axis of rotation. So it is the force of gravity that keeps the Earth in orbit and around the Sun. So with centripetal force acceleration, it creates a force direction at right angles to the flow of the wind or the direction of the wind. And lastly, the frictions. It decreases the wind speed, also changes the direction of air. So friction causes the air to slow down, altering the air speed and direction. So basically, it causes force on a surface, which is the direction to its motion that greatly affects the air and wind movement. Surface winds. The wind that blows close to the Earth's surface, it is measured using speed or the anemometer and wind direction. So it is measured at the height of 10 meters above the Earth's surface. So surface winds are affected by pressure gradients, ito na ko tag-mention kagaina, and local pressure variations.